Hopefully it's a nice Saturday for everybody. This needs to be thrown away. That is garbage. All right. So if I want, hey, Ms. Rotier. Oh, hi. I want to bring the values of all of this up. Let's try to mix some of that. So, uh, just a touch of this yellow. Mm, very khaki. He's been all right. Um, not. I went to Captain Con last weekend. Um, that's better. That was we. I was there for tries to help raise money for MHCP, and we raised about $1,100 for the charity, so that's good. We let's see, what else did I do? I painted this. This is going to be for my class at Adepticon. So if you would like to learn how to paint with oils, I have a class. It'll be this model, and this is the demo piece. This is going to be a 2-hour paint job. So we're going to give everybody. I'm going to give everybody 2 hours to go from a zenithaled, gray primed bust to this. So we'll see how it works out. So if you're going to be at Adepticon, if you search "Introduction to Oils," you'll find this class. I think there's 6 seats left. Yeah. I just want still just the tiniest bit of green in here. Trying to mix out some mid-tones stuff. All right, we'll try that. We'll see what happens. Let's see. We'll start with the higher portion here. You didn't know that was me teaching that class? Well, happy accident, I guess. Gonna mess with my head. Yeah, it'll be my first time teaching there. So hopefully I meet expectations. Yeah, let me knock that down. Well, not knock it down. Let me start from a mid-tone. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, let's. Got an idea. I'm gonna use. I haven't used this stuff much because I normally paint alla prima or alla prima. But since I'm painting onto dry oils, I'm gonna use some glazing medium. and see how that works out. You watch your back. Oh, okay. No, you can still sign up for classes. Yeah, the badge doesn't matter. You can go on and sign up for classes through the portal right now. Yeah, if you go back to tabletop events, no, is it tabletop events? Whatever you bought the badge from through their portal, you can still sign up for classes. Okay. The class is like, oh, it's a late class too. It's like ugh, what is it? 9 o'clock on Saturday. 9 p.m. I should say 9 p.m. on Saturday. Hmm. But I'm glad to know that you're going to be making it. Mhm. That's great, man. Your flight back is on Saturday at 5:30. Yeah, yeah. It's a late class, but um, if I still have I think I'm gonna have 30 copies of the bust. Um, so if you want a bust, I can at least you know hook you up with a bust. Yeah. Um, trying to finalize some stuff. Um, maybe we'll be doing some fundraising there. I'll be doing some fundraising there, I should say, for charity, for our charity. But to be determined. We were definitely going to be doing it, and then we kind of stuff happened. We couldn't, and then now we can again, maybe. Not because Adepticon was telling us no. They were going to let us originally, but it wasn't going to logistically work out. But now it might, or rather, now it can if we are allowed to. Hey, no worries, man. Like, if you don't remember, uh, was it 2023? I dropped off the face of the earth for was it like 4 months, 5 months? Who dat? Chaotic painting. Thank you for the follow. What you up to? And I haven't been too reliable of a streamer myself lately. Just work is just um too demanding at times. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, like work basically. I had to basically be on the road for a very long time, and I was doing a little bit of painting on the road, but I couldn't really, you know, chat with anybody. I couldn't really spend time on stream or nothing. All right, I think I like that a bit more. And that definitely makes this painted on shadow uh much more there. I have heard of Relic Knights. I don't remember in what context, but yes, I have. Why do you ask? The idea is this is the directional lighting. I need to like that right there is the directional lighting. So all of this up here still needs to be kind of highlighted. It's back. Okay, I guess I don't like I said I don't know enough about it. Was it not around? Was that the one that there was like the a bunch of fuckery with what's it called? Kickstarter? Was that one of those? Or was that a different game? Ninja Division Kickstarter flop. Okay. Maybe I saw that on when I popped into maybe Brush for Hire stream or something. I saw a little bit. Like somebody said something about Relic Knight and shared a picture or something. Yeah, he cute. He cute. Let's see. So I need. All right, I'm kind of forcing perspective here. So this needs to be. Initial Core Games is right. Well, that's cool. Um, any particular model that you think is worth looking at? Let's see. I need. There's so many freaking things I want to paint. Actually, kind of want to knock this into complete to darker shadow. I'm going to cast shadow. Ignition Core does a lot of the. It was the mechs, right? Am I misremembering that? They sponsored Mekame, right? The painting, little online painting competition. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you got links you want to share, you're welcome to share. Um, there's actually what I wanted to do here. kind of catch this in. Who was that? Sorry. Myconid Minis. Hello. How are you? If anybody's coming in, they would like to share what they've been working on, and you got like Instagram or Discord link or something, you're welcome to share that. I'm always curious to see what people are working on. Kind of zoom in a little bit more on this guy. Let me move some stuff out of my way. So for those of you, I should have said that for those of you popping in for the first time. I'm an oil painter. Here's some oil paints. So everything I very rarely use acrylics these days. Haven't for like 4 years now. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Wait, is Soda Pop also them? That's a fun model. Oh wait, there's more than one model on here. Um, Soda Pop was the maker of the minis. Oh, okay. So the pink mech is pretty smart. Okay, fun. Hmm. But what was I saying? Yeah, I paint mostly with oils. I'm teaching an oil class uh at Adepticon. If you happen to go there, I need to get I need to sort my brushes out. Feeling like I kind of need um in order to kind of just use the power of the random brush to blend out some of this. No, not working out. That brush is too stiff. No. I'll take a look at it later. Thanks for sharing. Um, I remember them having some pretty fun miniatures. It's it's all like because Relic Knight is super chibi, right? Is that what I'm thinking of? Or is that a different game? Maybe I'm thinking of Dungeon Crawler because it's like a little skirmish game, right? I might be mixing it up with something else. Right, I'm kind of trying to force this this piece here, right? Trying to see if I do this. Trying to force this shadow here. Yeah, this. This brush is maybe I need to have a lighter touch with it. Try to like I'm just kind of feathering. Kind of adds a little bit of texture to it too. All right. Yeah, I vaguely remember a whole bunch of like kind of somewhat shady business practices, mismanagement, etc. But if there's a cool looking mini and I can get it at a con, you know, maybe I'll look into it. But I am trying to not buy anything because I haven't painted the stuff I bought at last Adepticon. Like I don't think there's a single thing I bought at the last Adepticon that I painted. Like, hey, check it out. It's my entry for Resin Beast that's just sitting here that I only assembled like 2 weeks ago. That is definitely not going to get painted in time. I like, yeah. I mean, I'll try to paint it. I might bring it with me to paint at the convention, but yeah. Um, it is what it is, right? All right. I need this all actually needs to be, yeah, because I totally shaded this wrong, right? Because if the shadow is going to be cast to cast the shadow there, right? So the idea is the light's coming this right there. I need to. Did you ever get the Gorgon? No, it's still upstairs in the box that I bought it in. Um, I not saying that I'll never paint it, because I absolutely do want to paint it. But I need a lot. I think I need a lot more. Um, I basically need to find someone who knows how to do makeup art and watch a bunch of their stuff, or find somebody local who's like a makeup artist because it's so big that I basically need a makeup artist to teach me how to paint that thing because it's 50% scale. It's gigantic. Um, yeah, it's absolutely massive and intimidating because not only is it a 50% scale person, it's got I think a dozen different snakes. Yeah. I think I bit off more than I can chew with it. I mean, it'll sit there. Eventually, I'll get around to painting it. I it's gorgeous, and I really want to paint it. Um, but yeah, it's just gonna be a bit before I can. I'm okay with holding on to that one and being a bit before I get around to painting it. It's just such a daunting piece. Um, and not a whole lot of people have painted that thing either. Though I've seen a couple of like really fantastic. Maybe that's what I should bring to Adepticon, the paint. I should bring the Gorgon and just sit there painting that monster, that freaking giant piece. Oh, that'd be freaking fantastic. I should do that. 'Cause I am driving. I'm driving out there, so it's not like I can't put it in my freaking car and just yellow my way to. That's tempting. What's it called? They're not going to be there anymore, though. Blackheart models. They're not going to be going to Adepticon anymore. Um, I'd actually asked them because I had found out that they were searching for someone who had. The news I got was, hey, Blackheart models lost their master to their Gorgon bust, and they're looking for someone who hasn't painted it yet, and they would buy it from, like, basically pay you for the model and then like give you something else. So I reached out to them. They were actually looking for. They have two Gorgon busts. They were looking for their one more based on the old Clash of the Titans movie. But because I was chatting with them, um, kind of asked them if they were going to be at Adepticon and stuff. Because I was kind of thinking maybe we're exchanging it anyway for the Caracarilla bus they have. Much more easy. It's still a large bus, but much less complicated. Um, and they said they were the only reason they were able to make it to Adepticon is because the guy has family that lived in the area, so it was easy to get there. Um, but now that they're in Milwaukee, it's not financially feasible for them to really do that, which is a bummer because I think they're the only people selling Stynal Res. I need I need some Stynal Res pretty badly. I need a restock. Dude, so I literally have I have two Mindwork Studios models, and I did the Kickstarter. Um, I I am I need to schedule things because I have this model. I need to finish this guy. I'm gonna make a little diorama for him. I need to finish this guy. After I finish this guy, I need to finish this for my wife. She wanted me uh, to finish this. This is a character Jane Doe from Zen Zone to Zero. Um, need to finish this model that's been kind of sitting here half finished for a while. Yeah, a little rat or mouse woman. I still have this bust that I started a year ago, and then I don't like it how it's coming out, so I haven't touched it since then. I need to, I think, reprime it and try again. I don't know because I wanted to do another very directional lighting thing, but it's not working out. Um, so if I can manage to at least I need to finish this guy and I need to finish Jane Doe, then maybe because I have also have the freaking where are they? They're here somewhere. I bought the three um there's three of these. They're not all exactly the same, but the Limbo Division uh cyberpunk or cybernetic dragon pinup girls with that are super thick. Uh, they're let's see, it's these two, and then yeah. So I got these three ladies that come on a little conjoined base. Um, I think the guy lives in like Japan. I doubt that he'd ever go. I'm gonna get these back where they were. One second. All right. Um, he also doesn't. I don't think he makes enough models to like be able to. He. I mean, he'd probably sell really well, but I don't think he is limited to like he only makes like 100 to 200 uh copies. Mm. But no, I have the look here. I have the box, so I have this MindWorks Studio One, Solomon's Loss. I have this model built, primed, and ready to paint. Then I also have the I can't remember what it's called, Reach or something like that. It's the robot reaching into a well, pulling someone out. I think I want to try to paint that one first. Um, but I have the box there taunting me. Um, you know, but yeah, they're really really well made. I mean, there's a gulf between. Well, hold on, I'm gonna be forced to make a do a ad break here. Um, so I'll be back in just a minute. All right, are we back? Back. All right. I mean, it kind of depends on what you mean by anime skin tone, right? Um, I mean, let me grab that that Limbo Division model. Baba Yaga Fife Fife. Hello. So like the difference really, um, it comes down to saturation. Um, I mean, it kind of just depends on what you're doing, right? Like, I mean, these are both women's skin tones. Um, yeah. I mean, the granted with the you're gonna have a bit more pink in the anime, or a bit more, actually, or a bit more peach. Um, yeah. Now, granted, this was painted with, intentionally kind of muted colors and stuff. Um, but you're gonna have a little bit more like kind of peach tone, in, well, when you're painting white anime style skin. But I mean, it it just kind of depends on what you're doing. Is all. That's all. Um, I can't guarantee that I'll have like a bunch of time. Um, if especially if I end up running a booth at the con. Um, but I mean, we can sit down and we can sit down and paint. If I'm not running a booth, we got time to sit down and paint. And this is where I have to like resist the urge to make everything super smooth. I mean, because like, I mean, to distract myself again, right? Like here, let me grab three Kingdom Death models. Like, because I mean, they're anime inspired, right? I mean, these those are all very different skin tones, right? But you would say that they're all anime skin tones. I would love a larger version of all three of these, a painter skill version, right? So like all three of these are quote anime skin tones, right? You just have to kind of learn what to use. A lot of it, I think, comes down to the shadows, because like for this one, right, I have a lot of like purple in the skin tone for the shadows. For this, I have a lot of brown, like, and then and the highlights for this are more yellow than they are pink. And I mean, this one's maybe more traditional skin tone, but still, like that's anime skin tones. I need to paint another Kingdom Death model. I've been painting one in a bit. And I have two that are primed that I bought, that Prince bought me at Gen Con. I just haven't gotten around to yet. Yeah, it's probably the undertones that you, because that really makes, that can really make the skin tone for sure. Um, and sometimes it just means you have to kind of hand it in afterwards. All right, so I'm trying to glaze. Because Any minis run night. Yeah, like honestly, if you want to practice with skin tones, just paint a bust. Like it'll yeah. I mean that's my honest opinion is paint a bust. They can be very eye opening um to practice on. And I don't know, I find them that you can set an atmosphere I think a lot more easily on a bust than you can on a full model, in my opinion at least. And like I said, I'll like if you can get into the class, I'll have a couple more of these. Um how much am I paying for each of these? Uh, if I give it to you for cost, I think it'd be 12 bucks. Um I'd have to double check the math. But like one thing that this model has kind of shown me is like how much just relative tone changes the perception of a color. Is like this looks green, but like if I put this next to, I mean, here's green, right? Like a medium green. You want to see what a medium green looks like next to this? This is a medium green next to this rabbit. It shows you just how much perception can be just with relative color. Yeah, it's a huge difference. I want this actually to be. Like it really just kind of shows you how much a lot of it is just relative color. And like we all know this to a point, I think. It's just sometimes it's hard to like really like you have to like consciously um paint towards that. And like when I first painted this model, when I did the first pass at it, like I wasn't really pushing as nearly as far as I needed to for for this to work. Was that whole thing that I mean, that really depends though. Like, yes, but um it really depends what you're doing. Because generally speaking, like in in a like because like you generally want to desaturate and darken when you move into shadows, but that might mean that you're desaturating, darkening, and warming or cooling depending on the surrounding colors. With this model, everything is warm tone, so I don't really have to worry about like so technically my shadows should be cool. If I wanted to make things pop a bit more, but this is a very intentionally very desaturated model. Um, so everything's going to stay kind of warm tone. Sorry, I'm off camera here. Um, but like the thing is though, like you can kind of do whatever as long as it just has to kind of it just has to work. I know that doesn't it's not helpful to say that. It just but it yeah, it just has to work. But go look like go pull up like a oh what's a good example of what was the name of that anime? Trying to think. There was an anime that came out that was a really good example of this. The gods. I doubt that this is gonna give me the results I want. There was an anime that came out not terribly long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that used magenta for all the shadow tones, and it worked. I'd have to dig, but I'm sure there's um and like when I mean magenta, I mean like barely desaturated magenta for the shadows. Actually, hold on. I have a book. All right, let me pull up a picture. I actually have a comic that I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. Um, oh, that's a very crappy picture. Let's see if I can find another. Uno momento, por favor. I'm gonna type in that. Digging, 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 digging. Right? Can I open this? Right, nope. Well, here is an example. Um, this is one that I can find at least. Where's my thing? There it is. Um, so like this, right? Like it's not the best example of what I'm talking about. Um, but like this is usually kind of like an orange for shadows. But I know I've seen other pictures of this where like there's a lot of like, this right here is using turquoise as a shadow color. And then like green, like neon green shadow. That's what it's like, some neon green for shadow colors. It looks like if you just look at it without paying attention, it you don't really, it looks fine. But if you actually pay attention, like, wait, like he's got black hair with shadows of an orange, um, stuff like that. But there's more examples of stuff like this. I can't remember the name of this freaking anime I'm thinking of. Do do do. Of course, none of those fucking awful goddamn, not even closely related pictures in Google image search. What was the game I just played? Yeah, dig around. Hey, Rainer. Um, PSK, thanks for popping in, man. No stream for you. That's all right, man. Um, but no, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with shadows. And it could work. You just have to, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's definitely difficult to explain why that, like, that, using turquoise as a shadow color can work, or magenta can work. I tried to do it on a Nako Galaxy model, and I didn't quite pull it off. Actually, yeah, I can grab that. You know, PSK was going to try to join me on the stream, but he's busy. Yeah, this model. I could have done a better job at this, but um, like, this was an early attempt. This was basically a wild attempt at trying to do that. Doing magenta as the color. This is super glossy. Oh, right, because I use this is that like chrome paint from is it Stuart, not Stuart Little, the culture, the guy who makes Black 3.0 and all that stuff. He makes a chrome paint. It works until it starts getting dust on it, and then it gets fingerprints on it, and then it looks awful. Um, and this was a bunch of handmade color shift paint that I used on here. Um, my Jet Set Radio Future thing, but this was my attempt at kind of trying to do the whole magentas and the shadows thing. Um, I want to try it again. This with a better execution. This was not executed very well, but yeah, that was a very like experimental paint job I did. Horror loving. Hello. B Gates. Rainer, we're gonna play some more Judgment this year. If you're bringing your stuff, I'm not gonna probably bother bringing my stuff. If you don't mind sharing. It'll reduce the amount of stuff I gotta pack in my freaking car. It'll be the first game I played since we played together last time. Yeah, we're trying to up the values and desaturation of things on this model to sell. You can kind of see the shadow that's painted here. I'm trying to make this very directional lighting. I do have I bought this last year at Adepticon and I only put it together like 2 weeks ago. So we'll see if I can get it painted to put into the case for Resin Beast. Doubtful. We'll see. All right. Um. Yeah. No, I had a fairly successful time at Captain Con. Um. I grabbed the third place medal. I don't have the model anymore because I gave the model to somebody. Let me check it out. Third place for single figure at Captain Con. It was at Wolfen Model. I took a picture on Instagram. Uh, it was the first Wolfen model I've painted since 2002, and I gave it to the person who gave me a whole bunch of Wolfen models last year. One of the gentlemen who runs Nova. And in other good news, I am officially done with my Rei Ayanami piece. Ooh, do I have pictures on my computer? Hmm. I can show them real quick. I can show at least a picture real quick. I am happy to be done with this freaking thing. This one? Nope. This one. We're gonna open that one. It's hard to photograph. Let's see, is this a better? Let's see. What just happened? All right. Here we go. Boop. Gonna show up. There we go. Uh, why is that not showing? There we go. I look so dull on the screen. Um, oh, but here's our um. Why is this so weirdly? So this is going to be up for raffle at Adepticon. Um, it's huge. I should have put a model on there for scale. Um, but like a 30 mil model um is like a 30 mil model would basically just barely stand on her knee here. It'd be maybe this size of can you see the cursor? Yeah, it's basically the size of this area moving around with my cursor. Very tiny. This thing's huge. It's 2 foot. It's a 2 foot tall and probably about a foot and a little change across. It's huge. But yeah, this will be up for a raffle as part of our fundraiser at Adepticon. All right, back to this dude. Um, need to learn to paint fur. Paint some fur then. The Elica bust has some good fur on it. Gotcha. I mean, you're going to basically want, um, a very pointed brush, and you're going to have to like tick it, very lots of, or you can get, this can kind of help you get there. Get what's called a grainer brush, um, which is made specifically to make texture in lines. Um, I think the smallest one I've been able to find is a 1/4 inch, but that's what it looks like, and it really makes doing texture on leather and like fur and stuff easier. More the dance floor. Yeah, it's coming out nice. I'm still trying to like force shadow tones and highlights a bit more. Up the jam, pump it up. Oh, that is a definite. Yeah, because I need. Where's my? Oh, yeah, I need to make sure to keep that straight line. Going on the dance floor. I might take a break here in just a moment to get myself something to drink. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of keep this textured and whatnot. Anybody got anything they'd like to share they've been working on? Do I want to push this even more? Voxel 4 to low. What's the base going to look like? So he's going to be, I haven't built it yet. He's going to be in a trench. I'm going to build a trench. He's going to be sitting in the trench, and behind him there's going to be a brick wall with a silhouette, his silhouette against the wall. So he's going to be kind of throwing this grenade out of the trench he's in while being uh lit from a spotlight. That's the idea, at least. 3 geese in a trench coat. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust 3 geese in a trench coat. Simpix. Okay. I'll pull them up here in just a moment. Let's see what we got. Honk to you too. Let's see. Let's see what Mr. Atir has been working on. Oh, there's some Infinity stuff. Oh, GW. Get that out of here. Where's my button? One of these days, I'll get one of those fancy little like consoles. Oh, I like the magenta in the thing. Got a little bit of green added there. You did really well on the face. You need to get your focus set though, man. At the field. Your lighting and stuff of your photos are well done. Mess with your depth of field so you can have everything in focus. Yeah, no, you did a good job on these. This one's actually well done. I like again. If we'll get out of here with this, but this good. I like the pose on this model. You did a really good job with the a little bit of green and stuff in the shadow in the and stuff. That's really well done. Ugh. Yeah, if anybody else wants to share stuff, Instagram and Discord links uh, are whitelisted. We're gonna try to use this other highlight color I made here to kind of highlight stuff. What is that little? I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be pain because if I want to submit this to a competition, this little bitty whatever the fuck on the. What is this? I don't know if that pulled that up or not. I think it did. All right, cool. Have they released a booth map? I don't know if they have. I honestly haven't looked. I'm not that concerned about it, I guess. Adding texture by just doing a little bit of like short strokes with the brush. Gonna finish that tomorrow. I'll look in just 1 second. Let's see. Don't stop sending me a link to Discord channels, PSK. Click the photo, it'll open in a browser, and then copy that link. You hard head. Got mixed feelings about you right now, Snoop. I can't deny your music. Can't deny your music, man. Who dat? Spoon handle. Wait, no. Kodak mini painting. Kodak painting. Wait. What somebody who just I'm all backwards. Spoon handle. There we go. When I saw him in the what was it? Was it is it T-Mobile or whatever ad? I'm like, bro, I I know you're making money, but Jesus Christ, man. All right. All he asks is for any of those booth. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, Time Mask Games is doing a cool model. That's neat. All right. See how easy that worked? That's looking good, man. Zoom of Doom. He is freaking great, PSK. But right now, he needs to fix himself. That's coming along well, man. Make sure you pick this stuff out. This the detail with whatever you want, but make sure you pick that out. Nice, nice. Alrighty. Uh, you not pay for that detail? Okay, well, I mean, you do you, man. What is going on today? Lobster Licka. Welcome in. Welcome to the dozens. Dozens of us. Quite literally more follows today than I've gotten in the last 12 months. He is at best is a sellout. It sucks. And that's where I'll leave that. All right. Um okay, I think I've got like a moderate idea of what moderate idea of what I want this stuff to look like. Oh, yeah. Who else is working on something you'd like to share? Got me into you. Nah, man, that's me doing dots. That's not the all of that you see is painted on. Yeah. It turned out really well. I definitely need to duplicate that on the gun and other metal. All right. I'm gonna take a quick break actually. Yeah. Tricked your ass. All right. I'm gonna take a quick break so I can get something to drink. I'll be back in just a few. back to our music. Okay. I think there's another little speck. Hmm. Surprising that's working out. Usually I do that and it tears the freaking. All right. Um, I need to do the sleeve. No, they don't. There's just a bunch of various uh competitions from other, various companies. There was some talk like Creature Caster was kind of talking a big game and I think trying to hoping to get something like that together. But a bunch of people pulled out of Resin Beast this year to do their own thing. So I don't know if and when they'll ever do that. Now, what I kind of want to do is just talk to a few folk this year and maybe do a community paint show at Fort Wapple. Um, Maybe I'll talk to Brush and Wapple and a couple other folk and maybe spread the word and do like an unofficial Fort Wapple kind of models on parade thing. And kind of just allow people to do like a community vote or something like that. I don't know what the prize would be or if there would be even a prize. That might be fun. I think making and the prize has got to be something very minimal, like nothing crazy because that way it doesn't become a high it doesn't become like a competition for the competition's sake, right? I definitely don't want that if we're going to do something community based. But yeah, no, Creature Caster was trying to, I think, kind of get that way, but Parabellum pulled out and are doing their own. I think I want to say I heard that Game 75 is doing one, maybe. I don't know. I I honestly haven't been super paying attention. I've been too busy to. So unless I heard it in someone else's stream, I haven't. And I don't watch as much as I used to. Um, I've been just too busy. I'm just taking a exploded brush here to kind of stipple, completely clean. Brush is too stiff. I need to soak some of these brushes in like my liquid brush cleaner. Like Nova's competition, and I hopefully can kind of get back on track. Last year, it was a little disappointing how they kind of changed uh changed the kind of direction. At least it felt like they did. Um, I did talk to one of the um oh Prince, that reminds me. Hold on, let me shoot you this message. It's a conversation to have offline, but I've been meaning to ask you about this. Fuck. Um, we'll talk about that. So, all right, we're going back. Let's force our perspective. We're doing this. So this whole arm back here has got to stay in shadow. And then okay, that needs to be undone. But hey, lesson learned there. All right, we're gonna keep. Reinforce some of these shadows a bit more. And this Altair is where I'm actually using some black in my paint because this is already such a desaturated model to get things to look as dark as I want them to look. I kind of have to use some black. It's like now I'm not using straight black, mind you. I'm mixing it into my so this is my Mars black here, and then this is some raw umber, and then I'm mixing some black into that. It's not. It's still a brown, I guess, technically. All right, I accidentally obliterated what should still be there, so we're gonna have to fix that. If anybody's got any song recommendations, I'm down for that too. Especially if you got like cover a cover that you'd like to do to share, because I love cover songs. All right, so we're gonna do this again. So you see how I kind of uh fucked up my shadow there. I got to look at it from my perspective. Trixie. So a little bit, flatten that out a little bit more. All right. So I'm going to look back at this here. That's better. You see the shadow here, and then when I line this shadow, there we go. All right. Um, I'm gonna stipple in a little bit of. I got some glaze medium. I'm gonna throw. Yeah. Okay. So now I need to work on. Let's try the blacks because I need to make like the fact that like we got the shadow here, right? I need to make this leather a little bit less less black. So let's see what we can do here. Mm, okay. Let's see where else. I'm gonna make that a little. Okay, so actually, those there don't want that. Okay. Let us. I'm gonna grab a little bit of it. Warm that gray up a bit. All right, we're gonna keep adding texture here. A lot of this is coming down to just very simple touches of the brush, not putting a lot of pressure down on the brush. See, that was too much there. All I ever wanted, all I ever need. Actually, that needs to not be highlighted. It's tricky with trying to get the force perspective on this. So I do. Let's see. I'm forcing perspective on my end a little bit. Actually, so they got a little bit of highlight there, but as I turn the model, see that? Man, that is hard to tell. I'm gonna have to make that darker. That means in order to make that stand out, I'm gonna have to darken this here. As we turn that a little bit of. This song was stuck in my head earlier this week. So let's look at that again. Hey, Miss Artur. All right, because this is our key, right? This is the drop shadow. And so we're going to reference this little piece of leather here as we turn it ever so slightly and just a touch. Just a touch. You see, I missed that too. Not enough people have been raging in my stream. So, yeah, there is actually a little bit of a drop shadow there. I need to watch that series again. All right. Let me. So, everything. Kind of. Oh, Pickle hoof. Some Chimera color paints. Find a cheese. Um, look up Magic Palette Color Mixing Guide. It's a poster. I have one on my wall. It's a poster that shows you they're going to be named what they should be named. But let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find Magic Palette poster. Yeah, it looks like this. Here's a. They come in different sizes, and like different count. Um, but because the Chimera colors, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Altier, the Chimera colors are mostly single pigments, if I'm not wrong. And they'll probably be falling within this color range here. And then and then you can kind of see how things mix. I have like this is literally to the right of my stream. I don't use it as much as I used to, because um, I've done stuff enough that I kind of know what to expect. But that's a good way to start. Um, knowing that you mix X with Y, it's that little grid that kind of shows. Nicholas, don't be mean. You know that he's allergic to GW models. Yeah. Um, I think they're really useful. Now, granted, you can probably find a grid, like an image you can find. Um, I also really recommend the color cube. Here's some slides from it. Uh, I haven't had a reason to use it recently, but they're really cool. And they'll on the back it'll give you the tint, tone, and shade of each of the colors. And if you really want to do color matching, the hex hex code for the color. Um, but yeah, it's called the color cube. There's two of them. There's a digital version too, but it's oh my freaking uh yeah. So just they got a whole shitload of them. The digital version is not bad. Um, but I'll kind of dig through the digital version. Lets you kind of sort uh by like theme. Uh, but I have those behind my palette here, and occasionally, so like actually, as a good example, um, this was how I decided to paint my. I basically took this and added. I combined these two palettes. So basically, this palette with yellow, and that's how I painted my Kilinium Butcher set. So four of these models in the Kilinium Butcher were all. So I grabbed those, and I limited my palette to those colors. Like that's this palette, and I think it works really well. That it forced me to mix colors, and it forced me to use a limited palette, and thematically they work really well together. I still haven't done that fight yet. I mean, just so this is um like a single, like you buy it from her website. If you look up color cube, let me double check the because I'll show you like let me see who makes it real quick. Let me pull up my digital version. Sarah Renee Clark. Clark. Yeah. The color catalog cube. Yeah. It's the digital version's fairly priced. The print version is I mean it's not crazy expensive, but it's not cheap. Oh, yeah. I think I heard news that Ozzy is like pretty much like incommunicative and wheelchair bound and whatnot now. Yeah, and like it's a lot. Like, yeah, I think they had to cancel his tour and stuff. He was touring still. I don't know. The dude's old as fuck. I'm surprised he's still touring. But yeah, he's too ill, I think, to keep touring. Going up the rails on the crazy train. Okay, I keep going off camera. I apologize. All right. Um, let's work on these leathers. That's going to be trickier. Let's see. The whole idea again is this guy's being spotlighted. So I did a poor job of establishing that at the start. So this is iron. Is this what is this? Burnt umber? Yeah, this is burnt umber. Wait, no, not burnt umber. This is burnt umber. That is transparent red oxide. Or burnt sienna, more or less. Okay, so I think I used the burnt umber for that leather. Let's actually, what we're going to do, we're going to grab some of this. I'm going to put that here. And we're going to cut a decent amount of this white into that. Um, but we need a little bit of yellow in that. And because we need to desaturate it, uh, this is very red. So um, it's going to mean just a touch of this phthalo green. God, it's so strong. I need just the tiniest touch immediately push that into the freaking green green shade. More yellow in that. And for stuff like this, when you're working with oils, I find it's better to use a little palette knife to make sure you mix up the color the way you want it. And I've more or less made almost the same color. It needs to be darker. It's a little bit of a darker portion on this end. No, I'm not this year. I actually thought about that while I was at Captain Con, and I literally haven't touched that stuff since the week before last Adepticon. It's been sitting in my basement um since last. I have literally not touched it once. I cannot believe it's been a year since I touched that stuff. It has been sitting I have a small table set up in my basement with a fan and a respirator and my mulling glass and my muller and all the stuff just sitting on a table in the basement, and it has not moved in a year. I do not I don't have the time. I can't say um I don't know. I tell you what, Mr. Tier, at the moment I don't have plans, but maybe if I do, I have Indian yellow and quinacridone magenta, and I've been wanting to do a quinacridone yellow, but I don't know how well it's going to work, and I'm don't get your hopes up. I doubt that I'll have time. But I have Indian yellow and quinacridone magenta pigment, as well as phthalo blue. Um, but I have not touched that stuff. I mean, this is still the best color that you could ever use for oils. Um, it's still the most glorious brown you can ever ask for. If I wasn't using these paints for these leathers, this is what I'd be using. Good old PBR 25. Leather, yes. Skin tones, yes. Red hair, yes. Same color. Just tinted with different stuff. All right. Let's see. I mean, it's because the powder is so fine that you need to wear goggles and a respirator. Um, because the pigments are so fine. You open the container and it'll like literally just start like the movement of air will lift some of the pigment out of the container into the air. You have to be very careful. Um, yeah, we're gonna try some of this too. Just doing. Yeah, it's mulling bad. It's so labor intensive. Like I don't think it's hard to explain how fucking labor intensive that shit is. It's so fucking labor intensive. Let me add a little bit of yellow into this. There's nothing okay, because there's doing this while pressing down helps nothing. That the only thing that's freaking doing is fucking my shoulder up. That's all that's doing. That's all that's accomplishing is just fucking my shoulder up. All right, I think what I kind of want to do with this is kind of cheating a little bit. We're gonna We're gonna kind of lighten up. Bunch of dealing. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you this, man. I woke up wrong 2 weeks ago. I pulled my back while I was sleeping, and I've been walking funny for 2 weeks now. I'm going on week three. Monday will be week three that I pulled my back sleeping. So yeah. Oh, I've been putting what they're called lidocaine patches on my back. Okay, I don't know why I thought that this was that's gonna all be dark anyway. Why did I have that split? Yeah, no, I have been doing everything I could think of. Yeah, it I'm absolutely freaking like pissed off at my body. It's, it's just like Yeah, you slept weird because probably the dog. So how about like the first like 3 days? Like the first day, I could barely get out of bed, and then after that, it just kind of slowly improved, but it's been just fucking miserable. I'm on the freaking mend, but Jesus Christ, man, like could not be the cost of. Like, it was an issue because I had to drive to Captain Con, and it was like a 7 hour drive, and like I already don't fit well in my car, right? That was a miserable drive. I had to get out about every hour, hour and a half to do stretches and like not cry. All right, we're still trying to force this. Let me use a smaller brush at this point. I should use a smaller brush. Before I do that though, let me fix this shadow. I don't know why. Feel good. Let me. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big boy, right? But just ugh, yeah. I mean, my car is not normal. It's not normally uncomfortable to drive, right? But like the continuous, just because my back was already tight and everything, it was just absolutely fucking miserable for that. All right, let's see. Negative cha. Hello. I always feel like this needs to be a bit more yellow. Every time I see your name, I think of that episode of The Tick with Chairface Chippendale. Yeah, no, the gloves. That's what I'm working on. They need to. The issue is I'm trying not to. I don't want them to be too much of the same freaking color. All the leather needs to come up in value. No, I must have feelings. uh, hello, ghosty cat. Yeah, I'm trying to like. It's a delicate balance trying to get because working with a kind of a muted palette. Um, and kind of trying to get it all higher value. I think this is going to rely more on some specular, like little, very small. Um, uh, Negative Child. This is. I'm going to turn this into a diorama and hopefully submit it to Nova. Um, at the moment, though, it is obviously still a work in progress. Um, way too yellow, but we'll knock that down. Arc at the Moon. You been working on anything? Well, I guess rather Ikalip and Negative Cha. Sort of way too late. I mean, hey, you want to see my progress on my Resin Beast model? This is how far I've gotten on my Resin Beast model. Yep, it's assembled. It's not happening. Absolutely not happening. Um, most of a backpack. Oh, an arm. Okay, I said I have an army fully painted. I was like, oh, that's good, and then realized that I filled in the Y there. Um, go ahead and try Negative Cha. If it doesn't Well, hold on. Let me do this. Let's see if this still works. I haven't done this in forever. Try linking. Okay, yeah, Instagram I think is whitelisted, but let's see what you got. Hell yeah. Perfect. You should just submit this. I'm not following you. We'll fix that. There. The only thing that looks off is this bit here. Yeah, just the arm. I mean, it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. This looks fantastic. Except, yeah, this little tiny little bit here looks a little off. But I mean, this looks great. See, negative here does something I guess you would call smart and like subassembles things and paints them individually, where I assemble a 2 foot tall model and try to paint it like that. Which let me show that off again real quick. It says a couple other people in here. Let me pull that up again. Where'd it go? I'll just pull up the. Oh, that's not a great picture. Hold on. Where's the other one? There we go. Here's my finished. Um, so you see this globe here? That's bigger than a 30 millimeter model. It's 2 foot tall. It's huge. Um, she's finally finished. Go ahead, Eckelhoof. Yeah, this thing's massive. I still need to varnish this part here. I didn't varnish that yet. And there was a gap. This wing here, if you see this little part of the wing that's right here, it's supposed to key in. You can kind of see this little piece. This wing is supposed to key in right here, but uh it won't bend that far. And I also didn't realize that this was supposed to be a key when when I was doing all the cleanup, and so I shaved the key off. So I'm gap filling this and repainting that bit, but otherwise it's done. I got to varnish the thing that she's sitting on. I'm gonna leave this unvarnished. This is gonna leave unvarnished, and then everything else is good to go. It's huge. What you got? Unicorn. Some fluorescent paints there. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Dave Sharon. I so this took me just for the sanding, priming, and gap filling over 40 hours. Just that took me over 40 hours just to like sand, prime, and gap fill. Um, the line work on just this dude, I think, took me 20 hours. That's too much time. But yeah, just the black lining, the black and red lining on this guy took me, I think, 20 hours. I just, yeah, never again. it was 110 pieces. Never again. I like painting big models, but that one was just too much. Yeah, it like this on the cone was like a happy accident. I still need to do. I probably still need on the little buttons a little circular reflection of their own, kind of like I did here. I need like a little circular reflection here, at least on this one. I need another little circular reflection, and I need to add a little bit of more reflection on that button. This is not really painted yet. This whole uh old Tommy gun fucking thing. Yeah, I'll be at Adepticon. I will be teaching a class. If you want to do an oils class with me, you can join me. We'll be painting this model. Um, I will give you 2 hours to uh to do this. Um, this model, everybody will have the same set of paints. This was, I think, 5 paints. Uh, it was Hansa yellow, titanium white, burnt umber, burnt sienna, phthalo green, and pyro red. And we're going to try to get everybody to paint this. I did go back and then I did this at the beginning of the stream actually. Um, Kind of blacked out the plinth, but it'll be you'll have the plinth and the model, so you can either hold the plinth or glue it, tack it to something, and then we'll walk through how to paint a model. I don't like why she's got like some weird. I think the well, I'll worry about it later. Yeah. And then I'll have some extras too. I'll be in the painting area. If you don't want to take the class, I'll have some extras of those that you're welcome to purchase for for cost. Um, um, but yeah, I'll be sitting there. I'm gonna probably paint another one of these along with Wapple. He's painted I think 2 of these actually. Um, we might try to do something fun. But my class is Saturday starting at 9 p.m. It's going to be a late class. Marijuana cigarettes. Yeah, I just been too busy this last year for me to really get stuff painted for competitions. The amount of time I put in on that, and here's the thing, Negative Cha, That Rei Ayanami model, I don't know if I've mentioned that. That's being given away at Adepticon. That is being raffled off. I gave away probably $2,000 worth of my time painting that thing, and I am donating it for charity because I'm a crazy person. Never again am I painting something that big. So I spent way too much time on that. Um, I learned a lot though. Like had if I had the info I had now when painting that, I would have done it twice as fast. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, it looks great. Um, but I have no patience for subassembly. Now, granted, that Ray model was subassembled, but the subassembly was still huge. I mean, here, here's my. This is the other model that I'm working on. I could have subassembled this or not because subassembly is for the weak. Paint models fully assembled. If I can hold it, if I can hold it on a plinth on a handle, I ain't subassembling, and that's why we build castles in the sky. You would recommend subassembly or not subassembly? I'm not sure which way you're going. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I look at it. Like this guy was only a couple of parts, so like he doesn't really count. I think it was the main body, the wrist with the grenade, the gun, and the tail maybe. This guy actually wasn't a lot of parts. Yeah, but usually I don't sub assemble. Yeah, and that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, because like going back to this guy, like this guy might do good for sub assembly. Like if I didn't put the shield on, because that way I would be able to get into you know the inside of his all of this inside detail. But all that inside detail is going to be dark and poop anyway, which doesn't keep creature caster from over sculpting the inside of the shield and the inside of his body. But like the golden angle on this body model is like this. Like this is probably the golden angle on this model. But like you think, like I mean, again, I don't know if I care enough about this model to even paint it. Yeah, I mean the head I probably am, but like the thing is because I paint oils, I don't care because I don't want to have to wait for a tiny thing to cure so I can glue it and then paint into there's too much gap filling. I don't want to have to gap fill and then paint the gap fill. Um is that a mistake? Probably, but that's just I told myself last year that I would pick up a small model to maybe in a resin beast, and I just have not had the time to paint it. Um, Would that mean that because of my methods, I may never medal outside of Captain Con or uh, we'll see if I can medal again at Nova after last year. Medal 2 years in a row at Nova, and then this last year nothing. Even though I submitted the best stuff I've ever done, but that's a topic of sore conversation, so I'll just avoid it. They had way more entries than expected, and then they kind of changed how they historically judge stuff without telling anybody, which led to many a sour moods, including my own. Um, it is a conversation that I have personally had with some of the folk that um, work the convention, and it is well heard that many people were not thrilled. Um, Whether or not they change stuff, we shall see. But yeah, they had something. I think I was told they had 800 minis and journeyman alone, um, but only like a little over 1,000 total entries. So journeyman was way crowded. Um, Way crowded. and some of the people that won in journeyman should have been entered in masters. It's apprentice, journeyman, and masters. So like all of your well-known big freaking painters are going to be in masters, um, as well as some people who are there, right? Like, so you're gonna have like Eric Swinson and Sam Lins and they're like in masters, and then a couple of other people who you may not know that are as good or pretty freaking close that need to be in masters. Apprentice is for people who have never entered competitions before and are just starting, and journeyman is everyone else. The journeyman category was massive, and the talent spread across that category was crazy. There were pieces that were in that category that were better than some of the masters pieces, in my opinion. I don't know why they didn't move them up. Um, because that was like one of the things that they said they would do. If you were obviously outside of the category, that they would move you. Um, but yeah, there are people who definitely should have been in other categories. Um, yeah, I mean that's a conversation, you know, um, that maybe they need to have. The thing is, they also need to limit the amount of entries because I think I was told that um, there were a lot of people who entered like 3 to 5 pieces in multiple categories. So they're talking about maybe doing single entry into each category, or something like that. Um, what they do again, I'm just speculating, kind of based off of some of the stuff I've heard. But yeah, when you have like a handful of people sweeping 800 models and they each of them submitted like 5 models a category, you're like, well, what? Come on, man. but but yeah, it kind of soured me. It soured it soured a lot of other folks too. There were some people that I saw their pieces and they were absolutely gorgeous, and they got no recognition at all. And like in previous years, they would have probably won gold or at least silver. And the thing is, it's multiple people at that competition can win um, gold and silver and bronze. Like it's not a one and done. It can be multiple people. So maybe what they'll do is if you've golded, well, because the thing is, I think they said if you gold in something, you're supposed to move up a category, which is like it's a fine rule, right? That's not a bad rule. But the thing is, if you have every year people entering in journeyman who should already be entering in masters, and you have, let's just say 5 people, arbitrary number, 5 people every year who should be entering in masters, and they gold and they go up, that's still keeping people who are supposed to be in journeyman for getting recognition, right? Like it doesn't really matter if those other people move up. There's going to be 5 more people who are going to be sandbagging every year, you know. So I don't know. Like I said, there was a lot of contention. Quite a lot of people felt that that it was not done in a equitable manner. Um, yeah, I mean, like it makes sense that like, hey, if you gold in journeyman, that like maybe next year you should be in masters. That's perfectly sensible in my opinion. Um, but or stakes at those with awards. It's ego. It's ego. Because what are the awards? The awards, like the awards for Nova, aren't big. It's just some like swag. You get a medal. You get a medal that looks like this. Where's like you get a medal that looks like this and some swag. And like it's not like crazy swag. Actually, this is my actually I like the ones from Captain Con. This was the one I got last weekend from Captain Con. This is from last year. I like these old medals. I think were cooler. They were probably more expensive. Um, yeah, these are cool. I got second place last year, third place this year. Oh yeah. I what did I win? Did I get bronze? I got something for Mega May. Um, did they send medals? I got some swag. I don't remember if they sent the medal. I've gotten two finalist pins and one and two bronzes at Nova. Because I painted Evangelion Eva Unit One for Mecha May, and I know I got some swag, but I don't know if there was a medal involved. Oh no, there was a trophy. That's right. I have a where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. I guess this is silver. Yeah, so I got a silver for Mecha May. That's a I like that. It's a fun model, fun award. But I think Vic Vega, back to your point. I think some people really just have want the ego, um, and which fine. It is an ego boost. I'll fucking admit that. But like, dude, if you know that you're good enough to be competing, because I'm not going to enter freaking apprentice. Yeah, could I blow out freaking apprentice? Of course, but like, I'm not going to enter apprentice just so I can get a freaking medal. This dude should be like Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'm being all grouchy about that. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything for Mechame this year. I don't think I have any more mech models. The only reason why I entered is because I had an excuse to paint my Ava model. Yeah, I don't think I have any other mechs. Oh, well, no. Unless they expand it to cyborg, like robots. Because well, there's no way I'm going to finish that by May. Do I have any mechs? I don't think I have any mechs. I have some androids and robots, not mechs. You, my brown-eyed girl. Okay. Yeah, I need who is it that like should kind of organizes the whole thing? Is it Walter's workshop or is it uh someone else that kind of over like it's Walter's workshop? Because if they let people start entering like robots, then I have something to paint. If it has to be a mecha, then I don't think I have anything. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah. Because he's going to be at Adepticon, right? I can always maybe talk to him there and see if there's something like at the convention I can grab. Okay. Sha-la-la-la. You'll be there. Okay. Yeah, because I know you did Resin Beast last year. Oh, this is going to be. I got to do like. hmm, Well, all right. Let me do this. Come on, camera. Boop, boop, boop. It's- okay. Well, maybe I don't feel so bad. I think he probably gets a lot more painting in than I do, though. I know he did real well last year. I did not. I painted where is it? This was my Resin Beast entry. Um this was my entry for Resin Beast last year. Um I th- yeah, I thought I stood a chance. Um I was wrong. I got bottom shelved. I still think I did a really good job on this model regardless. Um yeah. But they made this was entered. This what had to be entered into the large category though, which I think is why it probably did not do well. Because if you look at it compared to their actual small, because this was their special edition 54 mil version of this model. Um, yeah, it was put on the bottom shelf and stayed there, and it was unlit. It was not easy to see where it was. Um, yeah, no, I still learned a lot painting that. I can't complain. Like it was a good model to like learn stuff on. Um, do I think maybe it was better than other models that won? Maybe, but um, I've mentioned it before, but I can't remember who the judge was. One of the judges. I went and got feedback, and can't remember the guy's name. I'm sure everyone knows who this person is, but I am not great with remembering people's names, especially if they don't stream. But when I asked him for feedback, his only feedback he gave me was, "quote You should use more ICLO." And to that, I did not know what to say, nodded my head, and walked away. That's not feedback. Use more ICLO is not feedback. It's kind of too late in the game for the announcements of that, though. I think. Yeah, I telling me to use a particular brand of paint is not feedback. You know, if that is what you lead with, I am walking away. Like, so you could say a actual thing would be, hey, okay, let me go grab the piece. Let me grab the piece. What would have been maybe actual constructive criticism was like, okay, so uh when you did your highlights on your silvers, it actually works better because you have all these warm tones. to use a warm highlight, and it makes it just feels more natural that way. That's feedback. Yeah, the base, I hate the base. The base, I hate it. It's over designed like all creature caster models. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. And I did actually have it at one point much higher value, and it looked awful. So I knocked it down. But whatever, right? Um but yeah, the if you want to tell me that, like, hey, my it was distracting, I guess is what I could say. It made you look at the base and not the model. So I was like, okay, well, it can just be like pulling off lava or something. Um, yeah, it. What I probably should have done is just not have gone with an OSL base at all. I should have probably just made this a boring rock base and maybe done OSL from the source of the demon or whatever. I don't know. Don't know. But like I said, feedback would have been, hey, because you have all of these warm tones everywhere, using a warmer highlight instead of this more cooler highlight would sell the OS the in it the non-metallic metal more. That would be feedback. Telling me that, like, hey, use this paint. Use ice yellow, which, I mean, this is effectively the equivalent, but like, use ice yellow. Okay. Why and how and where? Yeah. No, I the base, if you want it, I'll take that on the chin. The base is not great. That's the thing. That's why it triggered me, is because when I heard the words ice yellow, I was like, are you in my brain, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you want to tell me to do? To use ice yellow? That's where you start your critique. I'm no, I'm good. I was so I was so spicy. Oh, I was not a happy guy. Do not tell me to use a particular brand of paint. It's a particular it's a yeah, okay, is it Vallejo? Yeah. Like, again, all that, like, if he had said, hey, you need to use like some very high value warm tones on your on your metallics, if that's what he was trying to say, that's what he should have said. But I was just like, nope. He had no other feedback to give, so I picked up my model and walked away. Yeah, yeah. So I was very salty. Well, it might have been, had I stayed there, maybe it would have been longer. But I was so flabbergasted by that, I kind of just looked at him, said, "Okay, and what else would you like? What else do you think that's missing from here?" Said something like that, and he kind of turned the model around, kind of shrugged, and I was like, just like grabbed my model and walked away. Like, okay, I'm not. whatever. I also anytime someone has a model and they're judging it and they do this, I want to throw them out the window. Like, because I'm almost I think that I could be like taking this model and going like, no, I want to throw you out the window. No, I saw a piece of fuzz in my during my rant. Where was it? I understand that other people might have different opinions on that. I want to throw you out the window. Like, you don't take a freaking painting off the wall and turn it around. Like, miniatures are meant to be looked from underneath. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I thought I saw a piece of fuzz. All right, I'll keep my tweezers nearby. This definitely this definitely needs to be fixed. The fur down here, but that'll be later. Like, I know that I got penalized when I submitted this piece, when I got feedback for this. Let me grab it. There was enough, I got decent feedback from folk, right? It was a piece I submitted I don't know, 3 years ago at Nova, right? And one of the critiques I got from this, right? Which this model should be at best looked at maybe this angle, right? He said, "Hey, this is unacceptable." And sure, fine, but this is not the model. This is the model. This is the model. This is so I can transport it. This is not the fucking model. This is the model. Fine. From now on, I'll make sure to like paint my shit. It's like, oh, this. I don't remember what happened here. No, I saw your message. I saw your message. Go paint, Native Child. I'll stop bitching. This was a lot of fun. This is Pedro Fernandez. I have another one of of his models that I really want to paint. Absolutely amazing piece. I love this piece. This is my first Cintiq freehand. Like perfect, but yeah. Oh, you know what? I do occasionally as well. I got a pair. I got a pair right here. I just haven't had them on recent so far today. Because I'm not really doing super detailed stuff right now. All All right, let me before I finish, I gotta at least do a little bit of the leather up there on that glove. I do appreciate you popping in. Oh, there's that piece of fuzz. Running high. I My issue with those is you have to like have them, you have your thing, you have to like have it a certain distance from the magnifier. Whereas a pair of reading glasses sit on your head and you can get like two, three, 4x reading glasses. I just got a pair of 2x's. They work well enough. And it costs like $3 at the pharmacy. That's right. I was going back over. All right, so we've been kind of filling with the. If you look at this angle where that shadow, right, we're going to blend up this shadow. There's a little bit of this glove that needs highlight. It doesn't look right. It's a wrong hue. It's actually going to have just a little bit. We're going to paint. We're going to kind of get off of script or direct painting. Because I want a little bit of this on this sleeve here. I mean, that's just barely. Kind of hard to see. Billy! What's up, my friend? Are you winning? Yeah, I pushed the values up quite a bit since last time. Like you can actually see the shadow now, versus what it was previously. I definitely need to bring up the values on the face. You're actually kind of coming in at the very end. I'm kind of pooped at this point. But nice seeing you. I um I finished Ray. I finished my gigantic garage kit. Of course, can't really put it underneath the camera to show off. But yeah, it's finished. Fuck you, kid.